preach one community around here, and one body, and one heart, and one soul. When Mr. Van Doren was speaking to my husband, just on a side note, he let us know that he's been working on a project for a while now. And so this is his debut performance in front of the Bishop O'Dowd community. Here is Mr. Willie Van Doren.
All right, just a quick introduction to this. This song initially came as a response to the tragic events in Charlottesville, which I'm sure you all remember last year, and my conversations with Mr. Green, which have been great. Just at lunch, sitting in the faculty room, kind of at a loss for words. I'm trying to introduce this, but he's taught me a lot about history and really inspired me to look more deeply into history and the truth of our history. And I know for myself, the contributions of people of African descent, contributions to our society and to my life have been huge. I wouldn't be who I am without that. So in that spirit, I just want to offer this to everybody. All right.
Brother, how are you?
So, to be honest.
How so?
My soul's nauseous. My cousin felt the trauma out in Charlottesville. She watched as terrorism hit the block and the driver sped off, and then the tension all goes off like a rocket. Don't lose your humanity, whoa. To hear the president talk,
He wouldn't even want to stop it.
racism is the devil's contaminant. Be cleansed of insanity. Don't lose your humanity, whoa.
What?
Come get your history.
Don't forget you.
The game is fixed.
Listen.
I paint a pic, say 1676. Indentured servants off the ships from Europe in the fields next to African slaves to make a rich man rich. A dangerous combination. If they stick together, they could ditch this system that had them in their grips. The masters numbered maybe a fifth of white people and the rest were stiff. You know the masters hate to see the day the tables are flipped. So it's always been a tactic, separate the underclasses, uneducate them, strictly segregate them. When the poor white man's frustrated with the station, you just channel all that anger at the black to hate him. You got him in check, got him believing he's white, even as you got him in debt. He'll even give up his life for that, fight to the death to protect slavery. And how did he benefit? Man, isn't that war over yet? It's a land of inventors and adventurers. These United States never mentioned a history class, never told me to have on the biggest invention. Race, 1,000 years ago, how many Europeans know how to read or write, or that the earth is spherical now? It's called the Dark Ages for Caucasians, but although while the light burned bright in some places, Africans in Spain, black Islamic kings called the Moors brought more to Europe, everything on a scientific basis. African greatness is steeped in the philosophy and math of the ancients, but wars were wagered, the religious crusades. The Moors had darker skin than the Northern Crusaders, who started using skin tone in their labels. And they were making skin tone to be racial, until the different skin tone could be fatal. And in 1492, the Moors are overthrown, you may know. That's the year, yes, that their rivals give Columbus the funds to sail. The funds to sail west to this land of inventors and adventurers. These United States never mentioned a history class, never told me to have on the biggest invention of race. Before America was called America, there was the Sioux, the Choctaw, the Iowa, the Ute, the Massachusetts. They were doing what humans do, mastered their environments and grew, studied the stars, paid tribute to gods, and who knew? In the year of our Lord, 1492, come stumbling on the shores was Columbus and his crew, hoping it was India, the Isles of the Caribbean, where many thousands lived, and they entered the interior with swords, looking for gold, like show us the source. If it's yours, I'll make it mine. Take it with force, kill, rape, and destroy, like it's a matter of course, of course. And so it began. And so it began, America's original sin. And how we justify it then, saying they're not really human, them red skin. So it began, America's original sin. And how we justify it then, saying they're not really human. Once the word hit back in Europe, then it spread like fire. The rulers all looked to expand their empires. And everyday people swept up in the hype.
Over here.
That a ship to America could change your life.
Over here. A ship to America.
A ship to America could change your life.
America can change your life.
They came Scottish and English, Dutch and German alike. In exchange for the land that their fathers became white. Some escaped the old world where they almost starved, or persecuted ruthless for their praise of God, and even became for their passage across.
How so?
Indentured service till they paid that off. But slavery for many an inescapable fate. Christ's sake, some in chains made to suffer such pains, made to carry the weight. And terror and brutality for wealthy estates. In these United States, first the Portuguese were running slaves off the west of Africa. The money made was just spectacular. English and the Dutch pretty soon all wanted to pass at her. Wars to control who would profit off the massacre. It is a land of inventors and adventurers. These United States never mentioned a history class. Never told me to have on the biggest invention. Race. Before the many Africans were known as black people, it was Congo, Edo, Rico, enterprise and guided by the wisdom of the griots. Ijo, Jola, Hausa, Igbo, built kingdoms, vast systems of trade, and a lot of wealth generated. Gold was paid, and let the vast abundance of the land they prayed. Same land their ancestors were laid until that evil day swept up in a raid, torn from the roots and vanished from sight, like millions of others in a horrible plight. When a ship to America is your worst night. So it began, and so it began, America's original sin. And how we justify it then, saying they're not really human, them dark skin in this land of inventors and adventurers. Don't lose your humanity, whoa. Never mentioned a history class, never told me to have on the biggest invention. The invention of race. What is race? What is skin? How is any of this a reason to hate? What is sin? What is sin? Oh, say, can you see?